Hello and welcome to this video message, our newsletter but in video this time. We haven't really spoken to you for quite a while. That's because we were in a very interesting period regarding our house and where we're going to live. And also some interesting things happened in the last few months regarding our ministry. So that's it was high time we talk to you again and give you an update on what is happening. So, first of all, behind me you can see our garden. Yes, it is the garden of the same house that we spent the last 2 years in. And I set up my office here at the dining table in the living room. It was really interesting because we were looking at different houses. We were supposed to be out of this house by the 4th of January, but nothing just happened. We really tried hard, tried different options, but nothing happened. Well, the thing that happened was that every single option we had and all the backup options all just blew up. Nothing really came our way. So instead of on the 4th of January moving to a different house, on the 4th of January we had to walk up to the landlord and tell him, oh, sorry, we haven't moved yet. About 2.5 weeks later, he told us he was going to start the eviction process. And we didn't really like that, but we had to agree with him as in, you have every right to do that. You clearly told us that you wanted us out of the house by that time, even though we didn't really have another place to go yet. Well, not really. We didn't actually have any place where we could go. So it was a quite interesting time. And then 2 days later, he invited us to come to his office, told us that his lawyer had told him to really go start a procedure, which would have meant dragging us in front of the courthouse and starting a court case against us to get us out of this house. It doesn't matter that we don't have a different place to stay then, but he said, but maybe there's a different option. And then he invited us to stay for another 1 year minimum and 3 years maximum. So we signed a new contract for at least 1 year. And after that 1 year, we can move. So we actually have a period of 2 years in which we can look for a different house. So we're really grateful. We're enormously relieved that we can still live in a nice place with our kids. And just see where things go from here. So thank you for all the prayers regarding this. It was a very interesting and exciting, but exciting not in a nice way, period for us. And here we are. So that regarding the house. Next to that, the ministry has been expanding as well. We started some new things, among which is a podcast and a video channel. I have had a video channel for quite a while on YouTube, but now I'm posting regular, as in weekly videos on that channel. And the same video or the same message actually gets turned into an MP3 and uploaded to a podcast that you can listen to on Spotify or Apple or whatever. There's different ways to listen to that. And that's a different message every single week. Most of them about leadership, about growing in character, about the fivefold ministry in general, and everything connected to that. This podcast and video are connected to the new website that I'm going to be building. Don't check it yet because we're still building. But for the English public, it will be fivefold.eu. For the Dutch, it will be fivefold.nl. And we'll be working on several things on the fivefold, and we're building a platform for that as well. We'll be organizing meetings on a regular basis all throughout the Netherlands with different groups in different locations with a friend of ours, Hans Maat, and that'll be mainly to connect fivefold leaders to each other. So making sure that prophets will have connections with shepherds, which will have connections with evangelists, and they will have connections with teachers and with apostles. And all of them can just help each other in a personal way, and also in each other's ministries, that we can speak into each other on a personal level, helping each other to grow in character, actually equipping each other for the work of ministry, as Ephesians 4 says. So that's what we'll be doing on both the websites, in Zoom meetings or actual meetings in person on different occasions throughout the country. First of all, we'll be doing that in Dutch, but we'll probably be starting something up internationally as well. But that depends on whether or not there's actually a demand for that, and then we'll see how we can do that. Next to that, I'm also still working on the book. All the interviews have been finalized. I'm just having an extra interview, which wasn't planned at first, this Thursday, so that'll be in 2 days after recording this, with a pastor from Arnhem in the Netherlands. Last year when I interviewed him, he was in a transition with his old church. They were moving from the senior pastor and the one leader model to a fivefold leaders model, and so I thought it would be really interesting to hear from him. And he'll also be recording a video message with me this Thursday, which will be probably next week or the week after. It'll be on my YouTube channel and on the podcast as well. So that's the last interview that I'll be doing. Next to that, Zoran Spasowski, a prophet from Macedonia, has also said that if there are still holes in my story that I need to holes that I need to plug or need to fill, and I see that there's some bridges missing between one subject and the next, then I can always ask him, and he'll gladly work on that with me. And I have that same help was offered by several other people as well. So it could be that I'll be doing some more interviews, but that's more to work on the story as a whole as we go along. The first chapter is almost ready, and I hope in about 2 months that the whole book will be done, and then I'll be translating it from the basic thing that I'm working on at the moment, which will be both in Dutch and English, since I'm quoting the leaders that I interviewed in the language that the interview was in, just to make sure that I stay as close to the original as I can. And from that working document, I'll be translating a version into English and another version into Dutch. So in that sense, I won't be translating the Dutch into English and then the whole English version into a Dutch version, or the other way around, because for either the English or the Dutch people, it'll be a double translation, and I'm not sticking as close to what they originally said as I can. So that is what we're working on at the moment. We also restarted our fellowship meetings in this home. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, feel free to join us and to just be here and have a nice meal, have a nice evening, which will be every Thursday evening. Now, all this, of course, we cannot do alone, so we're happy to announce that we now have about 5 partners who support our ministry financially on a monthly basis, and we'd like to invite you to think about that as well. If you would feel that God is pushing you in that direction, or is asking you to support us and to help us build on this, what we hope to do is that we have enough income in the ministry to pay me for about 2 to 3 days a week. So I can do 2 to 3 days a week of work for the ministry, as in writing books, creating videos, leading these meetings, preparing messages, things like that. We also have many talks with different leaders from the Netherlands and other countries as well, who come here either digitally or in person for advice. And we would like to be able to do that and to keep on doing that. And of course, we need an income for that. So that would be good. And the other half of the money, so we hope to get enough support in to pay a salary, but also to fund the projects. Having all the websites up and running, running different channels, all those things are for free. but the equipment that you need to actually record good videos, things like that, they're not free. Publishing a book is not going to be free as well. So we need some income for that. We're planning different trips as well for this year, but more on that with the next newsletter. We're planning trips to Nepal, Uganda and Pakistan this year, and hopefully to India as well, but we're not too sure about that, and maybe Bangladesh as well. And Ethiopia might be on the program for next year, but we'll have to see, because there's nothing clear on that front yet. And that's what we're developing at the moment. So if you want to think about partnering with us and making sure that our ministry can do what we feel that we're called to do, go to the link in the description of this video or in the newsletter that you received, and press that link and it'll lead you to our website, and there's information on the website how you can become a partner with us. Thank you very much for your time. God bless you, and we'll speak to you soon.